Hello! I think Ackman's the only one here. Hello to you too. I know it's been like forever. Whoa, I am clicking things and obviously I need to reset things, so I guess you get to see what I usually do when I start up now. Technically my overlay is animated, but I hate the animations because they distract me, so I don't use them. Let's see, I forgot one. What is the one I forgot? Let's see. Let's see. The one behind the chat. It was working. What ended up happening was that I had to completely reset my... I had like everything booted up and ready to go, and then I was trying to go live for the test, and it's like, yeah, we're not going to work, and so I ended up having to like completely restart my software. And now I have double chat boxes going, which is not good. Okay, so let's figure out... Okay, I liked the other one kind of better, I think. Let's see. So, get rid of that one. There we go. All right. I remember I ended up having a couple going last time. I know it's been like a year. I had a couple loaded up because I kept having issues with one of them. And so I ended up having issues with one or the other of them, so I just had two so that I could swap them out as needed. And again, it's been a year, so when I come in to do all my little tests, I don't know which one is which. Oh, hello, Leah. I hope you're doing well, too. So, yay, that is the story of the like momentary double chat things. And what I liked about this one is that it keeps it if you like switch. So for example, I'm going to go to like be right back, and then like I'll be right back. And the chat's still there. Whereas with the other one, it like resets every time I switch to different scenes. So that's why I wanted this one. Yes, Leah, I know it's a stream. It's a test stream. And I figured if people came, we could hang out. I'm getting a warning from YouTube that my bit rate is low, which is wonderful. But so far, the quality doesn't seem to be terrible. I definitely don't have the best internet. I'm a cheapo when it comes to that sort of thing. At some point, I'd love to be able to afford to upgrade. And if I do end up getting back into streaming, then maybe I will get to a point where I'm making enough off of ad revenue or something once I get partnered with YouTube where I can like actually afford to upgrade things. I'm like trying to make sure I'm centered, but then I just realized I can just like move the webcam. This is like, I can't like pull it down and show you because it's what's on, but it's like literally one of those like external webcams, because even though I have a MacBook with a working webcam, I keep it shut and use an external monitor, and then the MacBook becomes a cat bed. So thank you, Leah, for saying there are no issues on your end. I think YouTube, let me see what YouTube, I don't know. It might just be that YouTube wants higher general quality. I don't know. If that's the case, then this is, I think, as good as it's gonna get. At some point I might play around with quality, but I think if I remember correctly, that is the kind of thing that does need to be done, be experimented with slightly differently. I don't think I can do that on the fly, whereas I can like move stuff around on the screen on the fly, and that's mostly what I wanted to get set up on today. Currently I'm playing around with framing, and that's always going to change just based on like how tall I'm sitting. I should probably actually like make that centered. How tall I'm sitting on the day, because like, do you ever have those days where you're like, I don't feel any different, but like I can tell based on where I am on the webcam that I'm like slouching or something like that. Oh, this is like, the aesthetic is bothering me, but it feels good to be off center. Yes, Ackman, the cats definitely always want to be the stars of the show. And I think to some extent, no matter what I do, the kitties will always be the stars. I think there's only so much I can do. Let's see, I've gotten a little behind on chats. Oh, I missed this. I needed a break. I'm not going to pretend like I didn't need a break, but I also really did miss this. Okay, so Leah said it might be like a 1080 60 frames per second versus 30. I'm almost definitely in 30, so that's probably part of it. I don't know if I'm at full 1080 or if I'm at 720. I could probably very easily check my settings. I remember that when I was messing with this a long time ago, the first time, it was probably like 2 or 3 years ago at least, I tried to get the highest settings that I could that would still result in not having like lagginess and issues. And during that time when I was first doing that testing, I was having issues with, it was during like the height of the pandemic, and I was having issues with people in my neighborhood being like on their computers and on the internet and having problems with that. And I specifically remember that I realized that I was trying to stream on like Saturdays and Sundays, and that's a lot of times when I was doing my testing, because yay, ADHD, I go with like where the dopamine wants to lead me. And like, even though I've been really trying really hard not to work on the weekends for my own mental health, since I run my own sticker business. Shameless self-promotion. I run my own sticker business on Etsy. If you want to check out my planner stickers, there's a link in the description box down below. Or I think it's still down below for everybody. Wherever it is, I'm pretty sure it's down below. There's a link. And also, right now, I'm running a sale for 25% off your order as long as you buy 2 or more items. Sheets of stickers start at $4.50, and I also sell single stickers for less than that. So, you know, all you have to do is buy 2 sheets of stickers and you get 25% off. I think that's a pretty good deal. So, yeah, let me know. As in, like, you know, let me know in the chat if you're interested, but also, like, let me know by clicking the link and checking out the shop and maybe placing an order. Yay! So, anyway, I've talked about burnout a lot. I'm sure I will talk about that today at some point, because, you know, as part of this test, I actually want to do this test stream for a while, because I've had issues with things going sideways after a little while. Additionally, my computer is quite old, so I want to like make sure that I don't have issues with longer streams with my computer. So yeah, Leah's saying that now there are audio issues. She's gonna grab her iPad to check it. Thank you for letting me know. I have like 3 different things up where I can see the chat, because I have the little thing right here, the like preview of the chat, because I have it on screen. I finally figured out why the live chat replay was going away, by the way. I will talk about that in a minute if anyone's interested, because that's why I have the chat on screen, because the live chat replay was going away, and the chat was so integral to like the conversation that I'm like, well, if the live chat replay is going away and people can't follow the stream, then I have to do something about it. And of course my nose is itching. So anyway, I have it on screen, but I had the preview like small because I wanted it on my screen. I wanted it small, but yeah, I couldn't see it, so then I had another window, but then it was also confusing having the different windows up, so I just made it bigger. Basically, I made it small because I wanted to see other things, and now I don't have as much of a need to see the other things, so I took it out. or I made it bigger so that I don't have to see the other things as much, so that I can see my beautiful face, because honestly that's a lot of what I'm staring at while I'm doing this, and I'm noticing like little sensory things going on as I'm streaming. But these are the kind of kinks that I want to sort out during this test, and because it's flipped I can never, like, okay, it's this side that needs to be down. There we go. Okay. So literally the whole blanket on the back of my chair is because my chair is covered in saran wrap, because the cats otherwise, they don't like use the chair as a scratching post, but it's faux leather, and so cat paws and faux leather, like, not a good combo. So after they destroyed the first chair, I started wrapping my chairs in saran wrap, and this one doesn't need to be rewrapped, but it definitely needs to be like neatened up. There are some bits that are kind of falling down, and at some point I would like to make, probably crochet, but maybe knit, not knit, so some sort of cover for the chair. You see, there's the whole, like, does it look even versus does it feel even to me? Because that's a lovely conversation to have. It doesn't look even, and I've decided that I'm going to prioritize comfort, because that's what I've done in a lot of the rest of my life. If you have ADHD, you know that sometimes you for your own sanity, you have to prioritize comfort. But now, like, it being off center is like bugging me, so maybe I can, like, find a way. There, that looks a little better. No, but now this side is too high. This is what you get for putting a blanket on the back of your chair to solve these problems. This is literally an Erin Condren blanket, though, so I guess it's kind of on brand since I talk about Erin Condren stuff a lot. They sent me the wrong one, and they had to send me the right one, but they're like, you can keep the wrong one, and it had someone else's name on it. So I'm like, well, it's kind of awkward for me to use it, so I just kind of folded it inside out and turned it into the back of my chair. And because a lot, like, it actually, I don't have a lot of white in my place, and it actually does need to be washed, but because of the lighting and the way it works out, it looks a lot whiter on camera than it actually is. Hello, Sarah! I missed you too. I missed everybody. That actually kind of comes into, I do want to talk about what happened this year for the launch, because I wanted to be here for the launch, and it was just a set of circumstances that just, after I was trying to work it out, and I was just like, I can't. So first off, because this kind of like overlays everything else that was going on, I have been dealing with like major burnout for I think we're almost on 2 years now. And in hindsight, I've been dealing with a lot, like, burnout in some degree for like years and years and years. Oh, I was about to throw a spring for the cats. It's a green one, by the way. Can you see it? I think I have to put it against something dark, and my skin's very much not dark. There we go. Oh, you can see it. It's a green spring. I need to go get springs out from like under everything. So anyway, burnout, been dealing with that for like the last year. And so usually when I drop off the face of the earth on YouTube, it's because the burnout has gotten to me, and streaming has gotten to be, for lack of a better term, more trouble than it's worth. At some point, I'd love to get to a point where I'm actually making some sort of money from YouTube and streaming, but I have not managed to get to that point recently. I was a few years ago from videos for a little while. I think that was when I was mostly doing makeup videos, and kind of when I started doing plan with me's and stuff like that. But it's been a while, and I'm not even monetized on YouTube anymore. So, I mean, I would have to, you know, climb a ways. I have the subscribers from years ago, but I don't have like the watch time. And now they have a thing where you have to have, well, there's the watch hours, and then so that's what I've like been working on, or was working on. I kind of reset everything because I didn't do anything for a while. And then they have a requirement where you have to have a certain number of uploads in the last 90 days. And so that's another thing that I'm testing here. Do live streams count as uploads? So at some point I may make this live stream private, but it's going to be public for at least a few minutes. At this point, there's nothing that's happened that makes me want to private it, so maybe it will end up being public. But I want to see if live streams count as uploads, or if it has to be like an actual video upload, and in that case, maybe I'll do like shorts. Oh my God, you are adorable, Leah. Thank you. Yes, I do work very hard on my Etsy shop, so it's appreciative that people say go buy my stickers. I will say I do get very good reviews, and I'm a star seller over on Etsy, so people do seem to be happy. So yeah, if you need planner stickers, I don't want to like force people to make a purchase that they're not able to make due to budget. Like that's kind of, oh, okay, this is my whole thing. Like I have a very hard time with like self-promotion. Like I'm okay saying like, hey, this is available. The whole like hard sell on it, I have a very hard time with, because I don't want people to feel pressured when they don't have the money, because I totally know what that feels like. At the same time, I have worked so hard on my stickers and my sticker shop, and if you have the money and would like to buy some planner stickers and it is in your budget, or if it's not in your budget but you're going to buy them anyway, I would highly, highly appreciate it if you checked out my sticker shop. And if there's nothing on there that you like, that's fine. Like, I'm not mad. I would appreciate if you let me know like what you would like so that I can maybe make it. No promises, but that's something I know that I need to get better at, because yeah, I mean, it's true with all businesses, but yeah, I don't want to get too into it. I don't want to be like begging people for money, but I mean, times are tough for everyone, but you know, so let me get back. That's what, like, only the third, the third tangent. I think I'm doing pretty good tangent wise, right? It's not a test stream without a bunch of tangents. I mean, it's not a stream from anyone with ADHD probably without a lot of tangents, unless it's highly structured or it's their current hyperfixation. But, so I was going back to why I did not cover the 𝗂𝗏 release as it was coming out. So I was explaining that overarching all of this, I had been dealing with burnout. And as far as burnout goes, Leah, I love your idea of a tangent counter on screen. I need to figure out how to make that work. Because that would be so much fun. And then maybe, like, I mean, this is me thinking way too far ahead. Opal really wants another spring. Will Opal get another spring? Opal will get another spring. Here we go. Opie, there you go. And she didn't even run for it. How rude. She just wants pets. By the way, I am trying to train the cats not to like walk in front of me. I don't actually mind it so much while I'm on stream, but while I'm generally working on my computer, it's a problem. With you guys, I figured like, ooh, you get to see the cat tail and the cat back in a little bit, stuff like that. Oh, and she wants to, anyway. So, if you see me scoop them up when they're like not doing anything that seems too annoying, like even then, had I been on it, I should have scooped her up and put her down, because I'm trying to train her, like, don't walk in front of me. Like, you can be beside me, you can do other things, but just do not walk in front. And I just realized I need to plug in my phone. I actually have my own stream on my phone. Right now it's muted, but that's why I have one earbud in, so that if I want to up it, because one thing I wanted to test was audio, which I haven't gotten around to doing. But I think I figured out something with audio that makes me not think it's important as the test that I thought really was. But yes. Okay. You've lost your walking around privileges for a minute. This is sometimes what I'll do. It's like, hey, the other one will not permit me to hold her like a baby. But Opal will. So sometimes it's like, hey, you've lost your walking around privileges for a minute. Just calm the F down. So, tangent counter, I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it. I mean, there's a way to do other counters on stream, and it would be the kind of thing where I think I would just set it up so there's like a number, and I would like hit a button. I know. So where I have the little quote, failing to plan is planning to fail by Benjamin Franklin, I've been meaning to change that out for so long because, well, first off, I found it rather quickly. I had a very hard time finding like planning related quotes that were somewhat short that would actually fit there, because I do try to be at least somewhat cognizant of the fact that when people are watching on phones, like text can be very small. But I've been wanting to change it out because, especially while I've been going through burnout, oh my God, my nose, why is it itching? It always starts itching like right when I start doing stuff like this. Right when I'm like on camera and I'm like, ugh, maybe I just don't notice that my nose is itching when I'm not on camera because I live alone with the cats and it doesn't matter. Anyway, there are some weeks when planning and being all organized is like the best thing in the world and helps me so much. There are other weeks, especially dealing with burnout, but just in general, where like, I mean, when I'm having an ADHD, like flaring symptoms, or just like when I'm just not having a good time, if, you know, that planning feels like one more thing, or the planning itself is great and then it feels like I don't follow through on anything, and then it's hard not to get down on myself. And so I think there are definitely situations where planning is absolutely essential, and there might be some people where like planning your life out like every week is the only way things get done, and I respect that. And to some extent, I wish I was that person. If I didn't have ADHD, I would be a very type A, have to be on top of everything, like everything planned out sort of person. But I have ADHD, and so it doesn't work that way. And sometimes my brain and the dopamine does not agree. So anyway, I've been needing to find something. I was thinking I'd just find another quote to put there. But tangent counter, oh my God, that's like so much better. And it's like us, you know? So yay. I love that. I'm going to work on that. I don't want to make any promises, but I'm thinking I'm going to stream Monday or Tuesday, and I know there are not that many people here at the moment, but let me know if you have a preference between streaming Monday and Tuesday. Let me just double check to make sure there isn't. I thought like, oh, I'll stream Monday and Tuesday, and of course did not check to make sure there wasn't anything on those days. I could maybe stream Wednesday next week. So I've been wanting to do a test stream and getting back into streaming for a while. But the reason why it hasn't necessarily happened yet is because I didn't have anything urgent or important that needed to happen. So it didn't need to happen in any sort of particular time frame. This is the other one. She's not as much of an issue being in front of me. And of course she's like, nope, I don't want to be in your lap. I don't want to be on camera. She's the one that is usually the one sleeping on the laptop. So sometimes I get treated to like working, and then I see a little paw coming down under the monitor, and it's adorable. Anyway, I will get back to why I did not cover the 𝗂𝗏 𝗠𝗏 release. However, I did get a box from 𝗂𝗏 𝗠𝗏, and it does have one of the new life planners in it. So, ooh, good point, Ackman. Monday next week is Memorial Day here in the US. I always forget because I work at home and I don't get scheduled around holidays. So that's a good point. So yeah, maybe Tuesday would be good. I would like to do the stream sometime next week, but yeah, I want to show off the goodies that 𝗂𝗏 𝗠𝗏 sent me. Yeah, so not nearly as big as when they send the like life planner like release PR, like when the life planner is just coming out. Like then you get like a huge box and you get like 2 planners and like half of the collection of accessories. And with this one, they sent me a planner and 3 accessories. And initially I was going to open it on camera. And then this morning I'm like, no, I can't wait. I'm going to take a real quick peek. I knew what accessories were going to be in there, but I actually hadn't seen the theme. So I took a quick peek, and I'm kind of glad I did, because there are some things in there having to do with the new planner that initially I really didn't like. And now I'm not so sure, and I will definitely share those initial feelings. Part of it had to do with some assumptions on my part that, in hindsight, were stupid to have. So I think having a few days, excuse me, to work through those feelings, and then I can share the whole gambit with you guys. Because I literally took like 5 minutes, maybe 10, but seriously, it was like a quick flip through. I'm sure there'll be things that I will discover as I'm doing this. But there are other things that are taking some time to get used to, but I think I will actually learn to like, and could actually end up being a benefit in the long run once I like work through my, not disappointed isn't even really the right term per se, maybe a little bit, but it not being what I expected. I will also say that when I opened that box with the planner, with the life planner itself, there was something that I saw that I was like, oh my God, why haven't they done this sooner? This is amazing. And I will definitely talk about that too. Yes, that reaction I kind of wish you guys could have seen live, but the other stuff I think is better that I'm going to have a few days to work on. So back to the whole thing as to why I didn't do the launch. It came down to a couple of things. Well, burnout. That was a huge one. But if it had just been that, I probably would have pushed through. The second one is that I've been having some tummy troubles, I guess, the past few months. Which, you know, in addition to burnout, kind of sucks. I mean, it always sucks. Tummy troubles always suck. So those are not over, but they were having a particular flare at the end of March. But even now, just for full transparency, I have a heating pad on my stomach. And for the most part, as long as I am sitting down, like at a desk or whatever, and I can have a heating pad with me, I'm fine. But that's been a problem, and it's been a huge impact in my life. So I hope that's not TMI for people, but it's also the truth. So, you know, that has been taking a lot of time and effort to try to sort through, as well as a lot of emotional energy to deal with. Yes, Leah, thank you for sharing that later, because I'm already at like 10 tangents during this whole like story explanation. Like, we're far, should just get through this, because there's not actually that much content. It's not actually that much content. So really burned out. Like, with burnout, with anything, you go through like phases, but like I was really badly burned out. I was having more of a flare with like the tummy troubles, and then I was, sorry, I'm not sure how to put, it's not even like that sensitive now. But I was invited to go away with family for like a week during April. So initially I was like, okay, well, like, I'll take a week off, and like, I'll just let them know what's going on. And then, and I will admit, I was kind of waiting until the last minute to sort everything out. And then Erin Condren said that the planner was launching on April 15th. And I was expecting it to launch like at the beginning of May, or like a week before the beginning of May, because they have been moving it up. Like, I will say, I understand in the grand scheme of things why they're moving it up, and I can talk about that in a minute if anybody's curious as to my thoughts. Maybe they've said it out loud, I don't know, but because I have not been keeping up with it. So at that point, I'm like, it's a shortened period. I'm going to be gone for some of it. I'm dealing with burnout, and I'm also not feeling well. And it was just kind of like the perfect storm of, this is not going to work out this year. And it took me a little while, and by a little while, I mean like maybe a few days, maybe, I don't know, maybe, it wasn't like instant. It took me a little while to work through that. That's okay. That I wasn't able to do like my whole launch thing this year. So I was like, you know, I'll keep an eye on the collaborations, like when I come back, after I'm feeling a little bit better, like I can, you know, maybe do like a shop with me, or if budget doesn't permit, like a mock shop with me or something like that. Like, this is what I would get if I had money. And then a few weeks ago, I got an email, because I am an Erin Condren affiliate, that they were doing another life planner like collaboration, and I signed up and I got it. So that's why they sent me some goodies. And the box just came yesterday. So, yeah, that's the story of where we are now. Oh, and by the way, the reason why I didn't do it like right after all of this stuff came out, like after I'd like come home and unpacked and like settled back into real life, is because the universe decided that it was the right time for me to catch COVID while I was away. So I came back to COVID. So I was lucky in that, of my group, I was not super sick while I was away. I was the last one to get symptoms, which it does not make logical sense, because the person that was the first to get symptoms and me traveled, like did all of the travel together, and then another person joined us a couple days in, because they were like traveling from a different place. And so you would have thought that it should have been me and the other person that got symptoms first, but no, I was the last one. So yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, and then my back has been hurting since like the beginning of March. And, so that's mostly sorted now. I have been seeing a chiropractor, and they have an in-house massage therapist. Oh, been amazing. But like through all of that, I was dealing with back issues. So yeah, basically in a nutshell, a whole shit ton of health stuff came up, and then I was away for a little bit, and they decided to condense the time frame in which they were doing the launch, and I decided that it was just too much, and I made the choice for my health and my sanity to say, I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. And so that's why I didn't cover the launch, and I wasn't sure how to explain it in a succinct number of words, which is why I didn't post about it. So it's really been bugging me that, like, is it this eyebrow is higher than the other one. I'm sure it had to do at one point in time with like how I plucked my brows, and then it's probably also has to do with how I'm holding my face, because yeah, if I go like this, then the other one looks a little higher. Now they look mostly even. If I like, but I feel like at the turn, I don't know, my eyebrows, like, that is not super important. So yeah, that's the whole story as to why I did not cover the launch. But since Erin Condren did send me some goodies, Well, they actually don't require coverage when they send you stuff. I am in a place now where I feel like I can show you guys what I got and share my thoughts. And I have been wanting to experiment coming back to streaming for a while. So here's what I can promise as far as coming back to streaming goes. I can promise that my nose will be itchy at least 50% of the time because I have indoor allergies and they're fun. But besides that, I can promise you at least one stream, probably this upcoming week. It looks like it's probably going to be Tuesday, because Monday is Memorial Day in the US. I think both people that are here right now, assuming Leah and 𝗚𝗏𝗏 are still both here, are both in the US, but you know, I try not to be too US centric unless I'm talking about a topic that like is overarchingly US. Because I do have a lot of, I mean, mostly it's my Etsy seller friends that are all over the world, but yeah, just, you know, try to mention that when possible, because I don't know who's going to be watching this, and I don't want to assume that I know where you're from, or if you're outside the US, you know what all of our holidays are, because I don't know what all your holidays are, so why should I assume you do mine? So yeah, probably Tuesday. My guess is it will be in the afternoon. I don't know. I'll probably try to schedule it Monday. We'll see if that happens. If I'm having some sort of health flare-up, then I will have to change it. I don't know when that will be too, but we'll see how it goes. I love getting on here and actually streaming and chatting with you guys, especially when people are chatting with me in the comments, but even when I just have stuff to talk about. I mean, you can tell I love to talk. I go on tangents, yay! But in the past, streaming has gone from fun to feeling stressful or like a burden. And sometimes, a lot of the time, it's been because I can't think of what to do for a stream. I've like promised a weekly stream, and then I feel like I have to think of a topic for that weekly stream. And in the past, it has been stressful and has, I don't want to say contributed to my burnout, because I won't say it's actually like burnout that it's been contributing to. Ooh, my audio, I just realized, is almost going up into the red. So maybe I should turn that down a little bit. Tell me in the chat how my audio is. I know it's not going to be the best quality of audio, but like, does it ever peak? Does it feel too loud or too soft? Mostly I don't want to turn it down, and I would just turn it down a smidge. I don't want to turn it down if you're like, it's already really soft. But I also really hate when the audio like blares in my ear and it's like, oh, that sound did not feel good. So let me know. What was I going to say? Oh, I know that sounds stupid, but like the stress of figuring out what I'm going to do for each stream, and even sometimes the thumbnails, when I'm in a certain frame of mind, it's like, oh, what am I going to do? So I think coming up with some sort of plan going forward for streaming that probably has at least some flexibility built into it. Not that I want to be unreliable, but at the same time, I'm at a place right now in my journey where I need flexibility, because while I'm feeling like I want to stream, I am still very much dealing with burnout, and I would love to get to a place where I am not actively dealing with burnout and I'm more doing like the preventative measures so it doesn't come back. So like, yeah, if I'm gonna stream, it's gonna be because it's fun. And then I also want to come up with some sort of like thumbnail situation where it's like, here's like a thumbnail template I can just throw together if I don't feel like doing a nice thumbnail, and then I can always change it later. I don't know. Part of me doesn't want my thumbnails to be too samey, but the other hand is like, I gave up trying to chase the YouTube algorithm a long time ago. Like, I know a lot of the stuff, the like streams and whatnot that I'm doing, that unless somebody's specifically searching for my stuff, I know it's not going to come up in search, and I'm not even going to try. I know that people, like, the algorithm changes all the time anyway, so like, I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna, like, hopefully people will find me, and if not, like, I have you guys that have been around for a while and love me, and hopefully, you know, at least, you know, there'll be some word of mouth travel or some recommendation or, you know, something. So yeah, I need to come up with a way to, like, make sure everything else that I'm doing falls into that same, like, category, I guess, of, like, do what I can do and just let go of the rest and have fun with it. Because, like, and I'm gonna be, like, completely frank with you guys, I don't stream for money. I'm not monetized on YouTube. I'm not making any money from this. If I was monetized and it could at least get ad revenue, and I'm not asking you guys to, like, go donate to me, well, I would definitely appreciate you checking out my Etsy shop. I'm not, like, trying to get donations right now. If I had something coming from it, it would probably help me get through the times when it's a little bit, like, stressful, because it feels like at least there's, like, some financial stuff coming. And I know talking about money is kind of hard to do, and again, I never want anyone to feel pressured or like I'm begging them. So if I can get to that point where at least if there's a tiny bit coming in from ad revenue or something, even if no one's actually, like, paying me for anything, then I feel like on those times when I am feeling a little bit stressful, I would have something a little bit more tangible. But right now, I'm having a blast just chatting with you guys. There's a few comments in the chat that I'm going to get to in a minute, but I kind of wanted to, like, kind of at least somewhat wrap up what I was saying. So, burnout often occurs. I don't want to say always because I'm not an expert. But burnout comes from people comes from people feeling like they're not getting proportionally enough out from what they put in. So, as I said, today, I'm having a blast. Like, I'm chatting with you guys. Like, I mean, you guys are my friend, like, especially, like, 𝗏𝗏 and Leah, and there are, like, a few other people that have been showing up for a while. Like, you guys are my friends. So, like, this is kind of like a social thing, even though it's on the internet and anyone can tune in. But when I feel pressured to come up with a topic every week, especially when, like, something else is going on in my life, or, I mean, I try not to look at the stats too much, but if viewership goes down, sometimes I do get down on myself. I'm trying to be honest with you guys. So, like, yeah, so I can stress myself out about it. Right now I'm having a great time. I'd love to continue it as long as I'm having a great time. You know, there are other factors that kind of, oh my God, my sweater keeps getting, why does it keep doing this? Maybe it's like, I don't know. Anyway, so we shall see how it's going. Again, I'm not saying all of this to say, please give me money, like, just because. I'm not trying to say, woe is me. I'm trying to explain my thought process. If you would like to check out my Etsy shop and maybe buy something, I would appreciate it, but I will not be mad. There will not be any animosity or any judgment if you don't. So, eventually, I would love to get to a point where I can stream and actually get some sort of, that was an opal, she's the black one. Maybe I should like make some sort of thing that like shows who they are. I actually have little like cartoon versions of the cats for my Etsy shop. I could somehow incorporate them into my stream. So anyway, I'd love to get to a point where I am making some stream of income from streaming, but I'm not there yet. And I see that as a fact, not as like, oh, I'm not there yet or anything like that. There was a time when it felt like, oh, I'm not good enough. Why am I not here? Why am I not doing this? I think I've worked through that for the most part. So, yeah, right now I'm like coming back to streaming, knowing that like, hey, this is the eventual goal, but this is my journey, and trying not to put any pressure on myself to like reach that goal or not reach that goal. I'm going to follow what I want to do. I'm going to follow the dopamine. I'm going to follow the fun and see where it leads me. And that's kind of where I am on streaming. Okay. I'm going to go back to the comments because there have been some coming in that I've been ignoring. I am scrolling back, even though I can't scroll back on the screen, but like I am scrolling back. Okay. So let me go back. I went back too far. Yay. Leah appreciates the honesty. Yay. Thank you, Leah. I am a proponent of when someone feels comfortable sharing, you know, I don't want to say the details because I feel like I could have shared more details. But that was actually kind of the details. Now I'm thinking about, like, I could go into like the nitty gritty, but I mean, you got the story. Like, there's not always a place and time, but you know, the transparency and the honesty of what someone's going through, sometimes it can be helpful because it's very hard not to compare yourself to others on the internet. And so getting at least a glimpse into Opal, no. She nudged my hand while I had a cup of tea in it. And that's like where I draw the line. So, nope. She is about an inch away from getting sent to kitty jail right now. I don't want to have to do it, but I will, boo. Okay. Okay, so. Okay, Ackman, there will be at least 5 cat tails touring the chat as well. I think we're probably at a good 10 to 20 at this point. Leah, sound has spiked and peaked ever so little. Okay, I will turn it down ever so little. Okay. Ugh, I probably should have looked at what it was before I turned it down. It's still in the yellow, but it doesn't look like I'm going into the red. So we shall see. Thank you for that. Leah says all the cattails. Yes, all of the cattails. I mean, there are only 2 cats in the house, so it's not hard to like see all of the cattails. No. So I'm not sure if I've ever done this like on stream. I'm just insecure enough about my body that I don't want to, but usually when I'm working, if she bugs me, I will put her on that cat tree as a warning that she's about to go to kitty jail. But I don't want to do that while live on stream. So I'd either have to like go to be right back, which I could, to give her the warning. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just do that, give her the warning, because again, I'm like making with my whole coming back to streaming thing, like I'm making sure I'm comfortable. Maybe I should do that. That's okay. Leah saying, let's see. Leah saying, yeah, financial stress bleeds into everything else. Yes, it does. And it can be a little bit more encouraged when you have a little compensation. Yeah. I will also say, like, even though I'm not making money from doing streaming, having a great relationship with Erin Condren and being an affiliate with them also helps. Because even though it's not, like, money, it's, you know, planners, and that's something I love. So it's gifts, and it makes some of the thing, like, when there is something that's stressful. And I should say that, like, a stream, when I'm streaming and it gets stressful, it's not always just the stream. It could be that other things are stressful, and then the stream isn't just, like, super easy sailing, like, I can sit down and go sort of thing. So that can be part of it too. You know, if things are stressful, like if I have, like, a big project going on or other things, and then there's, like, have you guys ever had the thing where you're, like, so overwhelmed, and then, like, someone like asks you something, and your emotional reaction is, not one more thing. I can't, even though the request looked at logically, like, shouldn't be an imposition, isn't a big deal, completely reasonable request, but your emotional reaction is, I just can't. Just can't. Yeah. And, you know, life is crazy for everyone. I'm not trying to say I'm a special snowflake and that life is only crazy for me and not crazy for everybody else. But, you know, sometimes when life gets crazy, the things that are the work that was once fun feels like a chore, I guess is what I'm trying to say. By the way, I just turned on a desk fan. I hope you guys can't hear it too much, but yeah. Ackman, if you want more burnout, you can volunteer to take care of really young kittens again. The bottle babies didn't help. Here I am thinking, oh, I'm a great candidate for bottle babies. I work at home. I make my own hours. This, like, it will be fine. It was not fine. It was not fine at all. So yeah, I figured out while doing the bottle babies that I'm never doing them again unless I have someone to do it with, like tag team it. Not getting up every 2 or 2.5 hours to feed the babies. I'll get up every 4, 4.5, 5, like that. That's my limit. Maybe older bottle babies I could do, but not the young ones. And I mean, I could have even had to get up, I think 2.5, 3 is where those were, if I remember correctly. I know I definitely stretched it a little bit sometimes. I know it's bad, but yeah, they ended up being fine. Yeah. But yeah, not doing bottle babies. But what I will say is I absolutely love fostering older kittens who can eat and use the litter box, or a mom and babies, because then I'm taking care of mom and mom's handling the babies. Didn't have to deal until the kittens. I've had 2 mom and kittens litters. One of them came with her kittens, like, transitioning into being weaned, and the other one came to me pregnant. And the pregnant one had her own challenges that now I've done it, I'm more prepared for. But like with them, I didn't have to deal with any kitten poop until they were using the litter box, and that's how I'd like to keep it. Yeah, I won't get too much into that, but yeah, I absolutely love fostering kittens. The reason why I haven't is the big reason why I haven't is I was fostering cats and kittens apart from the bottle babies in my bedroom. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. My bedroom is kitty jail, first off, and my cats go in there a lot, and they like to sleep with me. So when I was fostering, as much as I liked having the kittens around, they were losing part of their territory on top of having strangers in the house. And I was also losing kitty jail, which wasn't as big of a deal, but like I could tell that the cats didn't like it. So will I never foster kittens while I'm in this space? I won't say never. For now, I'm at a space personally where I don't feel like I need to, and I feel like it's better for my cats if I don't. So that's kind of like where I am foster-wise. But actually fostering slightly older kittens that I don't have to bottle feed and like do that sort of thing with, where it's like I can stay on my, I was going to say a normal schedule. No, it's just my normal schedule, where I don't have to get myself up in the middle of the night to feed them. Then I forgot my train of thought. If I feel like I need to foster them, then I will. But right now, I don't. But it's nice. It's actually nice to have cats around. I like having little baby kittens. They're so cute. And I've definitely like had a nap with a kitten like on my chest. I like went to bed with them there and woke up. But I also definitely, when I have kittens in my room, like if I want to roll over in bed, I have to like check my sides first to make sure I don't have any kittens. And if I'm gonna like take the covers off, I also have to check to make sure there are no kittens that will go flying. So there are some downsides, mostly cuteness. The issues with a pregnant cat. First off, she was a little closer to labor than they thought, so there were a couple of days where I'm like, why won't this cat eat? She's like already skin and bones, when it's like normal for cats to not eat a lot when they're really close to labor. And so what I thought was pickiness was signs of going into labor. But then it was technically a litter of 5, but 2 didn't make it, so that was really rough. And while I definitely knew that was possible, the one that was born with deformities wasn't a huge deal, but it was actually 4 that were born alive, and then 1 didn't make it 24 hours. And that one I had like tried to save, and Mama Cat knew that there was something going on with that one because she kept pushing it away from the others and wouldn't let it nurse. And so I was like trying to help it. And so that was just really hard. It was tugging on my heartstrings. And what made it harder for me personally is that the morning after she gave birth, when I was doing all of this to try to save this little one, our internet went out, or my internet went out. And because my apartment is one of those that it's like, I'm on a hill, and so it's like half underground. And I also live on like in the hills, so I don't have really good cell service unless I physically step outside. So I had no I didn't have resources to like talk to anyone. I couldn't do web searches. I couldn't call the Humane Society for help. It was like me and this kitten and a warming pad trying to. So in hindsight, probably there was nothing I could do about it, but it was really rough. So yeah, and I knew it was possible for kittens to be born stillborn, but I just didn't think it would happen the first time I had a pregnant cat. And Oh, I just saw your be right back, Leah. You're probably not back, but goodbye, hello, whatever. I was also like cautiously optimistic. This is, I know, kind of silly of me. They weren't sure how many kittens were in her, but they thought it was like maybe like 5 or 6 was their guess. And I was like holding out hope that it was 6 kittens with 3 boys and 3 girls because I wanted to name them after the bad kids from Fantasy High. And so, like, I knew that was highly improbable because 6 is very big for a litter of kittens. I think it's normally like 3 to 5, but I was holding out hope. So not only was it not 6, but then 2 of them didn't make it, and then I tried to save one, and so yeah, I even like made a couple of TikToks. I was trying to do like TikTok around that time. It's like I even made one where I had some video where like the kittens were moving in her belly, and it was like crazy. And then I like dropped off the face of the earth because I was like, I need some time off the internet. So yeah, but oh my goodness, not only were those kittens so cute, but like I feel like I bonded a lot. I bonded a lot with Mom, and then yeah, I bonded more with Mom than with the kittens. But I think because I had them like really since they were born, it was like different, you know? So that is my cat fostering experience. I'm still totally pro fostering cats. I actually have, I call it the alcove. It's like I have this staircase entryway, and then there's like a little room, and then like kind of like, it's not like a doorway, but it's like 2 rooms kind of put together at the corner, sort of. So it's like not an archway, but it's like the same kind of space, you know, except that it's just like, this is how the building worked out. And then I have like the main room with my kitchenette, which you can kind of see back there, and my living room, and then my bedroom's off here. So the alcove doesn't get a ton of use. And if I can figure out how to somehow rope that off so that it could be a separate room for fostering, that would be like the best case scenario, because then I could have a foster room, it'd be right there, and my cats wouldn't lose, I mean, that's still their territory. And I have to say, like, I feed them in the alcove because there's like a really cool ledge thing that's part of the foundation. I have a lot of ledges in my place that, because it is half underground. So like that is actually really great for cats. I didn't have to worry. I do have cat shelves up, but like there were already a lot of places for them to run around, just kind of built into this place, which was really handy. But I would lose that ledge that I feed them on, which would be kind of a shame. But I would gain foster space. And for anybody who's keeping track and wondering, like, why do you want to foster? You've mentioned, like, sometimes money can be stressful. My Humane Society actually supplies all the equipment and food and stuff. So all you have to do is the gas to go to and from the Humane Society. So it's across town, but it actually doesn't cost me that much to foster. It's mostly the time. And that, you know, assuming that I'm not completely displacing my own cats and that I'm in a good mental space for it, actually is time that I'm happy to spend. Cats are adorable. I love having them around. Even the bottle babies were adorable, even if they were a pain before they were weaned. 𝗚𝗏𝘓𝗫 provides the cat bed sometimes. Yes, they do. I have one Erin Condren cat bed on my desk. This one actually doesn't get used a ton, but I still keep it because I want to have a bed. Like, I don't know. My desk tends to get cluttered if I leave space for it to be cluttered. And so having that there not only keeps the space from being cluttered, but it also, like, this is the designated cat spot apart from the laptop. And then I have one more box that's set up as a bed currently. And then I have quite a few others that I'm like keeping around. I mean, not only are they like nice, like, bleh, they are nice boxes. I don't want to throw them away because as far as boxes go, they're nice. But yeah, they definitely make good cat beds. I also realized that they fit wonderfully under my bed, and so they've turned into yarn storage recently. But yeah, I definitely have a stack of 𝗂𝗏𝗠𝗏 boxes from over the years, and I use a bunch of them to keep stuff in. And yeah, I have to say, cat beds are the cutest use for 𝗂𝗏𝗠𝗏 boxes. I have a picture of my cat using it as a bed, and 𝗂𝗏𝗠𝗏 actually posted it on their Instagram once. I think it was a story though, so I don't think you can go back and see it. But still, it was cute. And no one is in that bed currently. I will say that that box has been up there for a few years. And for the most part, it's like not beat up or anything, but like the front, after being leaned on so much, is kind of like out a little bit and misshapen. So I might replace that box. But yeah, when I make them into cat beds, I just cut off the top for anybody who's wondering. And then they turn into wonderful cat beds. And then in this case, for this one, I covered the raw edge in first washi tape to make it look nice, and then packing tape, because one of my cats, I was afraid she would chew it if I left it raw. So that fits very nicely on my desk. And sometimes I get a cat sleeping in there, and it's very cute. And with that, unless anyone has anything else to say, I think I am going to end the stream. I've been streaming for about an hour, which I think it's been about an hour. Hasn't it been about an hour? I know there's a good way to check, but I forget how. An hour and 7 minutes. Yes, it has been a little over an hour. And here's another part of me sharing. Blech. Oh, first off, I'm not talking as loud, and I'm not thinking. I'm talking just as loud. I'm having a harder time stringing. I'm having longer pauses in between my thoughts. Not in a, I'm having a hard time thinking, but just in a way that oh my goodness. Just in a way that, like, I'm not quite as on top of it anymore, I guess. And so first off, I mean, that happens. I know that happens. That's not a, like, new thing. That's just how more I go through streams, I've used up energy. But if I stream too long, I find that at the end, I will get, like, a sensory overwhelm feeling once I stop. And I can tell if it's going to happen once I stop, and it's not necessarily that I feel it while I'm streaming, unless I let it go too far. But it's the kind of thing, it's like, okay, I'm done streaming, and I just need to, like, lie down and be in a bubble for a little bit. It's not like it's a headache or something like that, but yeah. And so I don't want to do that. First, because it doesn't feel good in the moment, and second, because in the long term, it might add to my overwhelm. Not my overwhelm. I mean, overwhelm is part of burnout, but yeah, it might start adding to my burnout, and I just don't want to get there. I would like to keep, I know, like, recovery from anything, let alone burnout, is not going to be like a straight line one way or the other. I guess this way makes sense on stream. They're gonna be ups and downs, but I don't want to do anything that is going to intentionally, I don't want to do anything that I know has a high probability of making it worse unless there's a good reason for it. There are a lot of things in life that I can be like, having to do this and having this stress is going to make my burnout worse. A lot of those things are out of my control, and this is one of those things that's in my control, so I'm going to control it. So currently, I am not feeling overstimulated or feeling like I have to go lie down after I do this or anything like that. But I would prefer not to get to that point. I'd like to enjoy the rest of my day, thank you. So am I promising I'll never do that on a stream, never have a long stream again? No. I'm sure there will be streams where I'm just having a good time and I just keep going. Yes, my train of thought is still boarding the train station at this moment. it's more like my train of thought is, I don't know. I feel like I could come up with a slightly better analogy because, no, train station works. I don't know. I was going to say like my train of thoughts forgetting what station to get off at, but it's not like it's jumping ahead of what my mouth is saying. It's that it just kind of buffers for a minute. It's like, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I need a minute. And then I can continue and I'm just fine. But I know that that's not as good of an experience from a watcher's standpoint. And it probably also takes more energy on my part. And since I've had issues with burnout and things, I probably shouldn't push myself. So thank you for listening to me while I'm being honest. Thank you for coming to my test and hangout stream. I think this test has been a huge success. There was one test I wanted to do that I didn't, but now that I realize it, I wanted to like switch between different things and then make sure the sound was still working. I think it should be. I might be able to run that test. Let me try. I'm just going to switch to what I think will be just my face, but it also might be an error message or a black screen, but I just want to just like see how the sound's working just to double check. So let's do that. Then I can say I did everything I wanted to, and I'll be right back regardless, and I'll just kind of wrap up. Okay, so we are definitely not able to see me. Maybe we can hear me. I just realized I can always watch this back. Anyway, so let me go ahead. I'm trying to add, no, I don't want that. No, what do I want? Video capture. Maybe there, okay. There's my beautiful face. There, at least you can see me again. You can actually see more of my room now because I'm not cut off. If I was actually going to use this, I'd zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay. I mostly just wanted to make sure the audio wouldn't completely reset, and I don't think it will. Let me go ahead and switch back. Yay, no issues. Leah, turns out you have to go. I'm going to go too, so no worries. So all I wanted to do to wrap up, first off, she was just taking a bath. She's mostly a little silhouette, but you know, cats. Am I right? Cats. So probably a stream on Tuesday. Don't hold me to that, but keep your eyes out. Maybe what I should do is I should create probably won't do it right now. Try to remember sooner rather than later to create an upcoming stream, and then if things need to get rescheduled, I can at least change the time. But that way, if you want to click the like notify me button or whatever, that will be a thing. And during that, we will go through what was in, or what is in the box. So that should be very exciting. You can hear my thoughts on the new Erin Condren planners. And then if anyone, either right now, I mean, Ackman, I'm guessing you're still here. I know Leah's going, so I don't know if anybody else was watching this live, or maybe someone will be watching the replay. If you have ideas for things that you want to see on streams, let me know. I will also say that while I've definitely focused on planners here in the past, I'm not necessarily married to sticking to just planners. Maybe if it's planner adjacent, maybe I should talk about ADHD one of these times. I'm no expert, but at least I have experience living in my own body with ADHD. So, you know, if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, let me know. I'm not making any guarantees, but it's a possibility. And yeah, with all of that, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for chatting. Anybody who's watching the replay and wants to comment on anything we're talking about, I mean, you've gotten to the end, I'm sure you kind of figured it out. But like, leave a comment and let me know. Also, Ackman mentioned thumbs up, like, if you know you like my content and all that sort of good stuff. And thank you for helping me test all of this out. And I will see you guys later. Yeah, I think that's it. Bye. Have a great Saturday. Bye.